Hi, and welcome back to Sweets and Beyond. My name is Ida, and today we're going to be cooking carne guisada, or Puerto Rican style beef stew. This is a very popular dish and very easy to make. These are the ingredients. Here I have 3 pounds of stew meat. I just went to the supermarket and they had stew meat, and all I did was I cut off the extra fat, so I trimmed it a little. We have 3 large potatoes. In here we have 4 cubes or 4 tablespoons of sofrito. So if you want to learn how to make that, go check out my video on how to make sofrito. A bunch of cilantro, some olives, not that much. Here and there we have 4 cloves of garlic. Yeah, stuck in there. 2 bay leaves. Let me put them right here. Some about a cup of carrots. In here I have a teaspoon of cumin and a teaspoon of oregano. 1 packet of Sazon Knorr, 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, adobo, canola oil, and behind there is some white flour, all-purpose flour. Let's get started. I'm going to place a little bit of, maybe about 2 tablespoons of canola oil in the pan so it could start heating up. It's not that much. And here, with the meat, you're going to sprinkle it with adobo, as much adobo or to taste. Sprinkle in the cumin and the oregano, and we're going to move it around. And this is my trick. You're going to take some white flour. Here's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, and we're going to mix this all up. Why do I put in the flour? Well, first, it'll bind in the seasoning to the meat. It'll brown really nicely. And it'll help thicken your stew or your carne guisada. So you just move it around, making sure everything is coated. It doesn't have to be 100% coated, just for the majority to be coated. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's coated enough. So now we're going to start frying them in batches. You don't want to overcrowd the pan, and be careful because it's hot. My stove goes from 0 to 10, and right now I have it at a 5 because I don't want it to jump up that much. Okay, so let's get started with this. So we're just gonna initially, so now I'm gonna up the flame to a 7, and I'm gonna put like 2 tablespoons in. And you want to just sear them. So I'll be back when all this is seared. Okay, so I'm taking out the last pieces of the beef. And of course they're not cooked. And if you can see, you see all that brown stuff? That's the good stuff. That's what's going to help you thicken the thing. So now we're going to add the sofrito. And we're gonna just move. It's so steamy, I don't know if you can see. So I'm just gonna scrape all those brown bits. That's what's gonna give it a lot of flavor too. I'm gonna put in the whole garlic cloves because the sofrito already has garlic, but I just like to add a little bit more. So we're just gonna move this around. We're going to add the 2 bay leaves and the olives. The whole can of tomato sauce, 8 ounces. I just made a mess of tomato sauce. And don't worry if the bits are still stuck to the bottom. Once you start boiling it, they'll come up and they'll thicken your stew. The packet of the Sazon. My hands are dirty too. Put in the Sazon. Okay, and we're just gonna let this go until all the cubes are dissolved and it starts boiling a bit. Okay, so everything is nice and boiling, bubbling up. And don't worry about these pieces of cilantro. You can pick them out at the end. So now we're gonna put back in our beef. See how pretty and brown? But it's obvious it's not cooked because it's really soft. I wash my hands, by the way. So we're going to put them back in. You're gonna move them around. Make sure everything is, all the beef is nicely coated with the sauce. It's not even cooked, and look how beautiful it looks. So the next step is, I always like to add the carrots because the carrots are hard and they take longer than the potatoes to cook. So my stove is still at 7. So now we're going to add enough water just to cover the beef. I'm going to rinse out the spoon while I'm at it. So we're going to add just enough water. I would say maybe like 2-3 cups of water. What a difference. Look how nice and beautiful it looks. I think that's enough water right there. So now we're gonna let this come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, maybe 2-3 minutes, we're gonna lower the flame to medium low, and you're gonna cook this for an hour. Check it to make sure that it's not bubbling too much, boiling too much, so you don't lose that much liquid. But it's not even boiling, and you can see because of the flour that it's gotten a little thick. The difference between, I think, a carne guisada and a beef stew is that the beef stew, the American style beef stew, it has onions, peppers, celery, and we don't use none of that. So I will let this boil, put the lid on it, and I'll be back in half an hour. So it has been 30 minutes, and the meat, it's still a little bit tough, but the carrots are cooked. So now on the last step, we are going to put in all the potatoes. I like a lot of potatoes in my carne guisada because I like to smush them in the rice. So now we will let this go 15 to 20 more minutes until the potatoes are cooked and the meat is finally tender. So here you have it, carne guisada or Puerto Rican style beef stew. It took about an hour for it to cook, but you can see how soft the meat is. So please remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Buen provecho.